Then at Christmas dinner, my dad tapped his glass and said, "He makes six figures but still can't hold a conversation without sounding like a fool." My brother burst out laughing. My mom didn't even look up from her phone. I'd paid off their mortgage, replaced their broken car, covered medical bills without a word. That night, I sat in my car in the driveway, pulled out my phone, and started ending every automatic transfer, one by one. "We didn't ask for your opinion, Sam." "No," I said, pushing my chair back just slightly. "You just used my name to co-sign your damn loan and emptied my bedroom like I was already dead." The silence was instant, like someone had hit mute on reality. The roast chicken sat steaming on the table. Grandma's green bean casserole untouched. The string lights blinked dumbly across the bay window like it was any other festive evening in Naperville, Illinois. My dad, David, finally put down his wine glass. "You always make everything about you. It was a tough year." "Tough for who?" I said, laughing bitterly. "You lost your job for 6 weeks and still took a vacation to Myrtle Beach. I worked overtime all year and somehow ended up with your debt on my credit report." My older brother Mark leaned back, grinning like he was watching a bad sitcom. "Here we go," he muttered, stabbing a piece of ham. Mom, Cynthia, didn't even look up from her phone. Just kept scrolling like the chaos around her had nothing to do with her. That stung worse than anything. "My name's Sam Whitaker. I'm 27, and I haven't raised my voice at my parents in over a decade. I've always been the quiet one, the problem solver, the one who paid my way through community college, transferred to a state university, got my job at a tech firm in Chicago, and just kept going. Promotions, bonuses, quiet sacrifices. I never asked for applause. But today, Christmas Day, surrounded by people I thought I was still holding together, I realized something. They never saw me as family, only as a resource. The family members, that's David Whitaker, Dad. 56, ex-electrician turned maintenance supervisor. Loud, old school. Thinks paying a mortgage is the same as raising a child. Hates being questioned. Cynthia Whitaker, Mom. 53, former substitute teacher, obsessed with appearances, lives on Facebook Marketplace and Hallmark marathons. Emotionally detached until someone from church is watching. A Mark Whitaker, older brother. 31, unemployed entrepreneur. Got kicked out of his third rental this year. Drives Uber when he's not pitching app ideas that never launch. Aunt Janine, Mom's sister. 49, occasionally the only voice of reason, but even she learned long ago not to speak up when things get tense. Me? I'm just the kid who made it. The bank. "You're overreacting," Dad snapped. "We needed that loan to keep the house out of default. You weren't even living here anymore." "Because I moved out at 21, after Mark trashed my room and sold my monitor for weed money." Mark barked a laugh. "Still with that, you act like I killed your dog." "You killed my trust, and then last month I find out you used my name for a $30,000 line of credit through Navy Federal, and guess who hasn't paid a dime of it?" Cynthia finally looked up. "Don't start this on Christmas. Jesus." "Mom, you let him do it. The credit check shows your address. My social. He didn't pull that out of thin air." Silence. "Do you even know what your silence cost me?" They didn't. And that's when I realized, oh no, they never had. Dad stood up like I'd insulted the family legacy. "We put a roof over your head for 18 years. You owe us some grace." "I paid off that roof, Dad." I leaned forward, voice steady. "I sent a check to Bank of America last July, the final 62,319.42. You didn't even thank me. You just assumed I'd do it." Aunt Janine's fork froze midair. Even Mark's smug smile twitched. Cynthia gave a nervous cough. "We thought." That was a gift. No, I said coldly. It was the last time I mistook guilt for love. I'd sent that payment directly from my account, not as a co-owner, but because they were behind and at risk of foreclosure. It was a one-time mercy, not a blank check. And as for the credit card, they opened in my name? Yeah, it was an identity theft. But when it's your own mother's handwriting on the application, you don't rush to file charges. That was my mistake. 4 years ago, Mom called me crying. Dad had fallen off a ladder and shattered his wrist. No insurance, no savings. She begged for help. Just $2,000 to cover the ER. We'll pay you back. I transferred $6,500 that night. She never asked how I had it. She didn't know I'd sold my car and was taking the L train to work in the middle of a Chicago winter. A year later, I helped Mark get a used Honda Civic after his was repossessed. I'll pay it off in a month, he said. I paid the dealer in cash. That Civic? Parked in front of the house now with expired tags and half a blunt in the cup holder. That night, after dinner, I sat in my car with the engine off, hands gripping the wheel. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just opened my banking app. 600-month automatic transfer for Dad's meds. Canceled. Mortgage auto debit I'd kept just in case they messed up taxes. Canceled. Cell phone bill I'd been paying for their family plan. Suspended. $300 to Mom's Venmo every first of the month. Reversed and blocked. Then I opened my password vault. I had full access to their email, tax software, and Mark's startup site, the one I'd built for him for free. I changed the password and left a note in the metadata. Pay your debts or pay a lawyer. And finally, I pulled up my Dropbox and folder titled Whitaker Family Evidence. In it, screenshots, emails, credit card records, enough to make an identity theft claim stick, and I'd already spoken to a lawyer months ago, just in case. 3 days later, Dad called. First time he ever called me with my name in the greeting. Son, we need to talk. Your mother's meds. Talk to Blue Cross or legal aid. I'm not your coverage anymore. Don't do this. No. You did this. When you forged my signature on a loan and made me question whether I was loved or just useful. Or you wouldn't press charges against your own family. No, Dad, but the bank might. And guess what? I'm not going to stop them. He hung up. By the end of the week, Mark's Civic got towed. Their power was briefly shut off. I had been paying the backup. And I emailed their local church's financial aid program with a detailed summary of their recent borrowing. Aunt Janine reached out. They're in bad shape, she said, not unkindly. David finally admitted what they did. Cynthia hasn't come out of her room. Good. Let them sit in it, I said. Let them learn to need themselves the way they leaned on me. But a part of me cracked open when she added, You were never the fool, Sam. You were the only one keeping things standing. I sent one final message. Not a threat, just a list of accounts that were closed, and a note. I am no longer financially or emotionally liable for this family. Seek help. I already did. It's been 2 months. I moved into a small apartment in Logan Square. Got a bike. Adopted a senior dog named Rocket. He's missing a tooth and doesn't like loud noises, but neither do I. I still haven't blocked their numbers. Some wounds shouldn't scar. They should stay open long enough to heal, right? Last week, I got a card in the mail. Handwritten. Says, we're sorry. We're getting help. And we're proud of you. Mom. No excuses. No manipulations. Just a sentence I never thought I'd read. I haven't written back yet. But I will, because I didn't burn the bridge. I just stopped watering it alone.